Saturday School. It is always awesome to be here with you guys. And as those of you who've seen me before will know that I always try and make it a little bit interactive as well. So like I was saying earlier on, this time round, I am targeting exactly how you can use LinkedIn so that you guys can see how you can use it depending on the business that you've got and what you're actually doing. So I want to, hone in a little bit on the affiliate marketing side, the online business side, all of those things. So for those of you, like I said, who've seen me before, hopefully there'll be some new stuff in there as well, which hopefully will then help you to see the power of this. Because as you know, I've been speaking at Saturday School for over a year now, probably, I think it's been, through the pandemic and also this year. And so for those of you who have not yet taken the step towards LinkedIn marketing, etc., there's even more stuff going on now, which will help you bring your business, bring your, whatever you're doing to the forefront. So I really want to make sure we help you with that. So I'm just going to share my screen and then I'm going to kick off by asking a couple of questions. So give me 2 seconds while I share the screen. Here we go. Give me a yes in the chat box if you can see my slides. Perfect. Thank you to everybody who's given me a yes. Awesome. So that's good. And the lovely Zahida. Hello, Zahida. I can see that you're online as well. Some familiar names and faces. All right. So what I want to do. Hi, Zahida. Zahida, I literally bump into you everywhere. Okay. So what I want to do. Hi, Billy. Nice to see you as well. Okay. What I want to do first of all is just get a bit of an idea. So if you are in a e-commerce business, whether that be a product, etc., so a product-based business, an e-commerce business, can you put 2 in the chat, even if you haven't started it yet, but that's the one that you want to start? So Zahida, Jabu, there's a few of you. Thank you, Valentine. Thank you, Penelope. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm going to go on to affiliate in a second, so don't worry, Vivian. So if you are an affiliate marketer where you are possibly, selling somebody else's products, have an affiliate link to share and get commission on that. So if you're an affiliate marketer, put a 3 in the chat box. All right, lots of you there. Hi, Anwar, lovely to have you again. Yes, so a lot of affiliate marketers. Awesome. And then if you are in a service-based business, so it could be educational, training, mentoring, coaching, etc., put a 4 in the chat box. Thank you, Zara, Dimitri, Hazel. Thank you, David. All right, so there's a few, so we've got all of these areas that we're going to cover today. Now, thank you, Dave. Dave's put Dave. I'm assuming that's a 4. All right, brilliant. Well, listen, I'm going to take you through various different elements of this particular presentation. Obviously, we're going to go through some of the most obvious ones in terms of why you should be on LinkedIn, and why, if you're not, you're going to be close to missing out if you're not already. But I want to give you some actionable tips, just like I do every time I do Saturday School. I want to give you some actionable tips that you can take away as well. So let's start off with this. Hopefully this is all going to work. And of course, this is where I go. Is it working? Let me try and do this again. There we go. Now it's working. All right, brilliant. So let's just look at, first of all, why LinkedIn. Again, some of you may have heard some of this before, but here's what I believe about any type of training. So for those of you who come to Saturday school every single Saturday, or as many Saturdays as you can, good on you, because you know, you could hear the same thing 5, 10, 15, 20 different times, but it'll hit home at a certain point. And like today, like even today, listening to Roger, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I might try that. I think I might use that. Because we are always learning from each other. Like Roger was saying, you know, we have each other's back because all of us bring different things to the table. So when you are attending Saturday school, it's always good, even if you've seen me before. I know people like Staz have presented before, Dan Todd, Claire Perry-Louise has presented before. So a lot of us come in and present a number of times, but we're always adding new things. So these next few key areas really pay attention to, because you'll just see exactly how much the reach for LinkedIn has changed. So first of all, why LinkedIn? Why should you be on there, especially if you are an affiliate marketer or a product-based business? Because LinkedIn has always been seen to be quite B2B. So here, you know, I'm going to share with you some statistics a bit later on, but here's some bigger reasons why you should be on LinkedIn. So the first is your reach. The reach for LinkedIn is phenomenal. In fact, right now it's bar none, probably alongside TikTok a little bit, but it's bar none, sorry, bar none, the best platform for organic reach, which means that you can actually get leads and business opportunities without having to spend lots and lots of money on advertising. So who would like to give me a yes in the box if you would like to attract more leads, be seen as an expert in your authority, all without having to spend money? Penelope's put yes even before I finished the sentence. Anna was like, heck yeah. So we've got a lot of yeses coming through, which is exactly what I want to be sharing with you today, exactly how you can do that. So let me tell you why LinkedIn's reach can help you get more and more consistent and high qualified leads. That's the key thing, high qualified leads when it comes to leads. So first of all, it's a human to human platform. Now, I'm sure you'll all agree, whether you are an affiliate marketer, whether you are an online business selling a product, i.e. e-commerce, or whether you are a service-based business, whether that's professional services or whether it's in the kind of coaching, advice, expert sharing space, you are all dealing with individuals. Even if you are selling pet food, you're selling it to the pet owner. You're not just selling it to the cat or the pet or the fish or the dog or whatever it is. You're selling it to the pet owner, aren't you? If your ideal clients are children, for example, in terms of the end user, you're not selling it to the children, you have to sell it to the parent. So ultimately you are selling to the individual. And so therefore, a human to human platform is where you need to be. It doesn't matter, take the other words out, the other acronyms, B2B, B2C, take all of those words out, because now LinkedIn, which did start as a B2B platform, is now much better as a human to human platform. It is a human centric platform. Next, it's an authority domain. So what does that mean? When an authority domain means that when it comes to Google and SEO, and I'm sure you've learned all of that with Simon, when it comes to like helping you score higher on the rankings, LinkedIn can help you do that, as long as your profile is more impacted and optimized, you're creating content, you're reaching out to people, you're actually active on there. Then what happens is, if somebody's searching for your product, your service, and your business outside of LinkedIn, if they're searching for it on Google, guess what? It's your LinkedIn profile that's going to come up first. So it's going to be easier for them to find you, sometimes even before your website. So it's going to be easier for them to find you. They can quickly go and see what you're doing. If everything that you're doing on LinkedIn actually helps you and favors you in terms of your business, then they'll get a lot from you, especially if you're raising your personal brand, because people will buy into your personal brand way more than they buy into your company brand first. Next, I always talk about this, and you've probably heard it 1,000 times, for those of you who've heard me before. LinkedIn is a networking platform. It's not a social media platform. So imagine, give me a yes in the comments, or actually give me a 5 in the comments if you were at Simon's last event, the live event, internet marketing event that he held at Heathrow. You would have seen me speak. Thank you, Jabu. Yeah, 5. Let's see. Yes, Hazel, Nick, Valentine. Yeah, quite a few of you were, right? So here's the interesting thing. You would have seen me on stage that time. Now, here's the thing about this whole thing, okay? And that is that when you walked into that room, really that room was full of potential people. Imagine walking into a live room that has your ideal clients in there. Okay, so for some of the speakers, that's what you guys were. You were an ideal audience for us to present to. So therefore, when you think about your business, think about LinkedIn being a virtual room. And if you start to attract the right type of people, then basically you're in front of an ideal audience. And then finally, like I said, it has the best organic reach, bar none. And so therefore, being able to get in front of the right person for absolutely free, with no ad spend, especially if you're starting out and you are a business starting out, then that would also help you. Okay, so that's just the reach. Next, we're going to look at the relationship. So here's some content around the relationship. There are there's actually 830 plus million users on LinkedIn. 90 million actually are senior level influencers, and 65 million, actually it's now 4 out of 5 are in decision making positions. So some of these numbers are a bit skewed because I need to update them. But the relationship is that you are ideally getting in front of decision makers. So LinkedIn is all about reaching and engaging your prospects at the right time and in the right context. It's not just about pitching to them. It's about getting them to want to buy from you because they feel that they've got a relationship with you. So I still get people from Saturday School, not only the people who have bought from me in the past and who've worked with me, have either done my workshops or they've done my online trainings, whatever it is, because I have levels for everybody, depending on whether you're starting out or whether you are already a marketeer and somebody who's already out there. Like what happens is, you know, that is all part of a relationship. So they are part of my community. And that's happened because I've built a relationship before they've bought something from me. Does that make sense? So that's what LinkedIn allows you to do. Okay, so that's relationship. Now, the next one is R rate. And obviously, even though COVID seems to be lurking around again, this is not to do with the COVID R rate. This is to do with a ripple rate. So this is the ripple effect that connecting on LinkedIn with other individuals has. So here's some really key statistics that you might want to write down. So the first is, for every one person you connect to, i.e. you have a direct connection, so they're not just a follower, they are directly connected with you. Just by connecting with one person will put you in front of 400 of your ideal prospects. So connecting with one person puts you in front of an average of 400 additional people who would see your content. They will come across you because that one person is your kind of in between. All right. Now, if companies are your ideal target market, and so if you are an affiliate marketer or an e-commerce business, sometimes it's organizations or partnerships that you might be looking for. But let's say if it's with organizations specifically, then connecting with one person will actually put you in front of 100 companies. So there's no bigger ripple effect than LinkedIn with the right people, okay? Which then takes us to this part, which is the revenue. So give me a 7 in the chat box if you would like to get in front of more of the right people who actually have the money to buy from you. Yeah, absolutely. Those 7s come down like literally like hailstone. Yeah, absolutely. Good. I'm hoping that You know, we've got over 70 people on this call. So whether you are passively listening or whether you're actively listening, like these guys, like Trevor, like Hazel, like Valentine, like Dimitri, like Zahida, and the rest of you, then you'll also be thinking 7 at this point. So here are some statistics which came out this year that you absolutely need to know about. First of all, by being on LinkedIn as invisible, so exposure on LinkedIn will actually increase somebody's intent to buy by 33%. So just imagine that they're on the cusp. They don't know whether they want to do business with you or they're not sure, but then they see more of you on LinkedIn. Another 33% is added on their intent. So if it's over 50%, they're likely to buy from you, aren't they? Yeah. Second, 4 out of 5 people on LinkedIn actually drive decisions. They're the ones that are the decision makers. Because how many times have you gone, you know, you tried to sell to somebody or tried to, you know, get somebody to buy from you and they're not even the decision maker. And then you have to go through the whole rigmarole again. And the third statistic is a LinkedIn audience delivers twice the buying power than an average web audience, right? So what does that mean? Well, it's not just an average social media audience, but a LinkedIn audience have the buying power than any other average web audience. So let's put all of these 3 things together in one sentence. Would you want to get in front of more decision makers that have twice the buying power, and that when they see you, that their intent to buy from you increases by 1/3? Now, if you are not thinking, yes, that's exactly where I need to be, then maybe this presentation isn't for you. So he was like, yes, please. Exactly. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, why would you not want to be on this platform? Doesn't matter whether you think it's B2B or it's good for recruiters or whatever. This is the power of this platform. Okay. All right, so that's looked at revenue, and then finally we'll look at a few things around results. So these are some statistics that not many people pay attention to. So 80% of business leads actually come from LinkedIn versus 13% on Twitter and 7% on Facebook. So why is that? Well, the reason I tell you that statistic is because LinkedIn is a place to do business. It doesn't matter what your business is. Whereas Twitter and Facebook, Twitter is a news channel. That's what that was created for. And Facebook was originally created for social interaction, not for business. It turned into a fabulous, by the way, platform for business. I'm not saying I don't use Facebook. What I'm saying is if you're not on LinkedIn, then you are leaving money on the table. 79% of business marketers see LinkedIn as an effective source of lead generation. And then slightly on the side, if you're ever thinking of doing ads on LinkedIn, a LinkedIn message ad where you get a message coming to you direct from the person who's done the ad, it delivers a 40% conversion rate. And that's because it has a 52% open rate. Now, the conversion rate will depend on how you write your marketing, right? Because it will depend on how you've written it, how persuasive it is, all of those things. But to do that, you've got to understand your audience. However, an open rate for normal email marketing is anything between 18 and 24%. So you're over double with the open rate. So there you go. So I'd love you to tell me, what are some of the conceptions or perceptions that you have of LinkedIn that has stopped you from using it? So in the chat box, tell me, why haven't you used LinkedIn? What stopped you from using it? What do you have some perceptions around it? What is it? It's business to business only. Yeah, Zahida says the same thing. It's only for business to business. It's a glorified job board. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for putting your CV on. Content is demanding. It's for successful professionals. That's really interesting, Jabu, because I would imagine that it doesn't matter what you do, you are still a successful professional, even if you're starting out. So thank you for your honesty, by the way. Too formal. Yes, Pauline. Lots of people talk about how, oh my God, I can't be myself on LinkedIn. Have you ever thought that? Yeah. So yeah, it's too formal. So that's going to be something that we're going to touch on. Let's have a look at this. I'm using it, but previously through Facebook was a better platform, though Facebook was a better platform. Yeah. LinkedIn has, so interesting. You got, Anwar says, I'm using it, but previously though, Facebook was the better platform. Yeah. So it's always to see how effectively you're using it. LinkedIn has an AI that fills in for you. It also has a lounge, and your most popular comment is copied there and can be used against you. So Zara, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. But by the way, just so you know, there are ways to avoid that. That is definitely not true of LinkedIn. So hopefully I'll be able to change your mind by the end. A lot are doing what I intend to do is a lot are doing what I intend to do in competition. By the way, Anthony, they're everywhere. They're not just on LinkedIn. They're actually everywhere, which is why you need to get ahead. And if you do it properly and you do it effectively, then guess what? That competition will come to you. The people going to the competition will come to you instead, because you're not on there. That they're going, well, actually, he's not on here, so we might as well go to the competition, right? All right, good. The best platform for conversions, yeah. It's stiff and boring, Nick. Yeah, exactly. It's for CEO type, says Dion. Also, accounts get hacked. Mine did, and it was also got split into 2 streams. There is a New York magazine that has a LinkedIn too. I can introduce you all to that if you like. So here's the thing, Zara, for you as well, that again, how, like, if you're on Instagram, every single other post that I get is of a friend of mine or a business associate, somebody in our space whose accounts have been hacked. And here's the worst part. When it comes to LinkedIn, at least you can speak to an individual to get this sorted. Instagram, don't care. You never ever get to speak to somebody, you report it, it takes ages to get your account back, and sometimes you don't even get it. So again, these are all perceptions. So thank you, Zara, for your honesty, because these are all perceptions. And I don't want people going to a LinkedIn too, because this has already been built. And also with LinkedIn One, as in the original, they've already got the funding behind them. They're owned by Microsoft. There is a lot going on. So don't try and go to a LinkedIn 2. Instead, go to the one that I'm going to be telling you. I'll take questions at the end, Anwar, okay? So I promise you I'll take questions at the end. So here are some of the myths that exactly you shared. It's only for corporates and B2B. Oh gosh, I have to post every day. Do I have to actually spend all of that time? My clients are not on LinkedIn. I post a lot from my company page. It's only for me if I am looking to find a job. It doesn't work for me, or it's not for me. It's boring and I can't be myself. Remember, Pauline, that's what you said, right? So I'm gonna, so Dion and Anwar, you're going to have to stay till the end because I can't do questions in between. I'm going to do questions at the end. So just keep that in mind. I won't be able to answer it if you're going to go before the end. All right. Okay. So here's what I would do, because I may actually cover some of the points, and Dion, I've seen yours as well. So just keep that question written down somewhere. And then at the end, when we do questions, make sure you put them in the box then, because then I won't miss any questions, because I'm going to be interacting with you. Okay, so is LinkedIn good for me if I am in the affiliate marketing online e-commerce space? Okay, that's one of the questions that you're probably going to have. Okay, so here we go. First of all, yes, because when you think about sharing your affiliate links or your products or knowing more about it, it's about trying to find groups that are your ideal audience where you can start to talk about that. Now, again, you've got to build relationships. First, you've got to go in there, you know, build your personal brand, talk about what you do, why you're so passionate, interact. But there are communities in there that you can actually share your links with. There are even affiliate marketing communities. So there was one that I found yesterday, which had over 33,000 people in it. So therefore, it's all about going to the communities, to the groups where you can potentially share your affiliate links or collaborate with people who have complementary products to you, etc. Okay. Next is connections. You've got to think about connections themselves. So who is it that you want to connect with? Now, in order for them to want to connect with you and be attracted to wanting to connect with you, you've got to make sure you have the right profile, which again, we're going to be talking about in a little while. 3, credibility. LinkedIn, I think somebody said it earlier, it's basically guaranteed for credibility. It allows you to be seen as an authority because you're on a platform where business, you're allowed to talk about it. Fancy that. Did you know that on Facebook, if you talk too much about business, from your personal profile, it could get shut down? Whereas LinkedIn, from your personal profile, you can talk about business, you can promote your business, you can be more explicit. Obviously, you've got to balance it out with the content that you create, which takes us on to content. How you can share content, whether it's promotional, whether it's about you, whether it's about your passion, your values, all of these things. So you can really get people to ultimately come to you so that you don't have to sell to them. Okay. Like I said, Anita, if I could just say, make sure that you just save your questions till the end, because otherwise I'm going to lose them here, because I'm going to end up doing interaction stuff with you. So just keep that question. It's a great question. No worries. Don't worry, darling. Just keep that question and copy and paste it, and then paste it again at the end. Okay. And then your company page. Think about your company page. This is a great place, and both your profile and your company page now, both of those areas actually have some fabulous places where you can add affiliate marketing links, you can add product descriptions, you can add demos, the new content ideas for adding demos and pictures and things like that is amazing. So if you're in any of these, definitely worth it. Now, here I only literally had time to search a couple, but I just got, again, Anwar, I can't answer these questions right now. So, business affiliate marketers succeeding on LinkedIn, okay? So first of all, from an educational point of view, for affiliate marketers who sell educational products, so Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they've already gone out there and used LinkedIn to share their affiliate marketers. So remember, this is not, Robert Kiyosaki selling it. This is people who are unknown who have that affiliate link, okay? And if you're a product-based business, there is a company called the Soul Supplier, which is all around shoes. They are also doing a fabulous, fabulous job. Okay, so there's just a couple. If I did a bit more research, I'd probably find more. So what are the benefits of LinkedIn if you are in affiliate marketing, an online marketeer, an online business, e-commerce? And by the way, these benefits also then do extend to you if you are an educational service-based business as well. So first of all, it's an affluent audience. Like, we've already established that, haven't we? 4 out of 5 decision makers. And guess what? Also, they have the buying power. So that means that you've got quality decision makers rather than having to waste through lots of leads that will never go anywhere. It presents opportunities for incorporating affiliate links. So LinkedIn over the last 1 to 3 months have actually added lots of places where you can add links. Now remember, most platforms don't allow you to add links, or don't like it when you do, because it takes people away from the platform. LinkedIn are now giving you the opportunity to do that. Okay. People are happy to talk business on LinkedIn because it's a business platform, which might prompt opportunities to share your links, because then you can go into the DMs, you can have a conversation, you can talk business, and then you can share your links. And of course, if you are an early adopter, it is untapped by affiliate marketers, because Facebook and other B2C platforms are already inundated with them. So for you, this is an untapped market. And of course, we already talked about the organic reach being better than Facebook. Okay. So remember, 830 million plus users, they are individual profiles and individual people. So what does that mean? It means that LinkedIn is a new Facebook, but for people who want to make money. Give me a 5 in the chat box if you want to make money from your online marketing. Thank you, Clifford, Zahida, Vivian, Anwar, Dimitri, loving it. Dave, Penelope, and Nico, is that how I say your name? Anita, Leon, perfect. Hell yeah, love it, Leon. So If you ignore it, you will get left behind. So let's not ignore it, okay? So before I carry on, let me just quickly tell you a whistle-stop tour of who I am. So obviously, Roger introduced me very briefly earlier on, award-winning and all that kind of stuff. But really, how did I kind of get started on this, okay? So this is a lovely lady called Claudia. Now, Claudia came to me. She was in the executive coaching space. So she came to me back in 2015 and she said to me, Dee, listen, I know you seem to be using this LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for such a long time, but I don't get anything from it. Like, I don't even get any comments. I get no business from it, but I know that it's a right platform for me. So I said, okay, Claudia, why don't we, look, I'll tell you what, and Claudia was part of my Speakers Association group. So many of you know Andy Harrington. So she was part of that group and I was one of the coaches. So I said, I'll tell you what, why don't I do a training for 12 of you in the Professional Speakers Academy. Come along for 2 days. I'm going to teach you everything that I know about LinkedIn. At that time, I wasn't really like, you know, I wasn't really holding a lot of workshops around this. So she said, okay. So she came along, she learned it all, and then she went off. And then a few months later, she comes back. Dee, she's like, all that stuff that you've been doing on LinkedIn, it just isn't working. Like, I'm not getting anything. So I said, well, are you doing everything that we covered? Are you making sure that you're taking each of the steps that I covered? Now, isn't it true that whenever we learn something, implementation is the key? Like, if you don't take action, if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. So she was like, yes, absolutely. I am doing everything. So it got me thinking, because I know that when my personal trainer says to me, Dee, like, you're not losing weight. Are you doing everything that you've been told to do, that I've told you to do? I'm doing everything. I'm absolutely doing everything. But then I forget about that piece of chocolate that I had that turned into 5 pieces of chocolate because one wasn't enough. Or I forget that the biscuit that I had with my cup of tea. Who knows what I'm talking about? Give me a hell yes in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we say we're doing everything, but we're not really. Yeah, exactly. Vivian's like, me too. Yeah, absolutely. So I said to her, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you and I every week get on a call and I will actually hold you accountable. So for 8 weeks, we did this and I started to hold her accountable. And what happened was like literally everything changed. She got her first client within like her 7th week. Then 1 client turned to 5 turned to 15. In fact, 1 client gave her 16 coaching clients, 1 company. So she sent me this late last year. She said, I've been in business 12 years as an executive coach. Thanks to you, Deenita, 2021 has been my best year yet as a coach. Next year is looking equally as good. Okay, so who would like to make 2023 their best year yet so far? Put a yes in the comments if you do. Okay, so here was the key to, can I just say, I'm very grateful for your interaction. I'm loving it. Makes me present in a much better way. So here's the key to success: visibility. Because you can be the best business, you can be the best affiliate marketer, the best online business. However, you can be the best in all of these areas, the best coach, consultant, all of that. But if you are not visible, then I'm afraid it doesn't matter. It's a bit like what, I can't remember who said it now. I'm sorry, I've forgotten who said it in terms of name. But you know, you talked about how your competition are on LinkedIn. That's because you're not visible on there. So let's get you visible so that those people come to you instead, because you are the better option for them. So, and it is all about how we perceive things versus how other people are perceiving things. So that's why it's really key to get all of it right, because you may think that your profile's right, but actually the way it comes across might be in the wrong way. So it's about using it effectively rather than trying to figure it out on your own and doing it all wrong. That's like basically practicing a bad golf swing, isn't it? If you don't have a golf coach, then what happens? You continue to practice a bad golf swing, okay? So So what I did was, after I had those 12 people in my group, and they all started to actually get results, I created the LinkedIn Caching Converter, which I'm going to go through. Some of you already know about. And then I started to basically get invited. I became known as the LinkedIn Queen, because guess what? I changed the perception that people had of me, and it all came, a lot of it came from LinkedIn. So I started speaking at events, then I changed everything online, but post the pandemic, I then got invited to speak at Entrepreneurs Marketing Conference, the biggest marketing conference in the UK, and got to speak at my first large event after the pandemic, whereas all the others were before the pandemic. I got to meet amazing people. I mean, I'm friends with many of these guys now, but Rob Moore, spoke on the same stage as him, Jessen, who's a very good friend of mine, obviously Andy Harrington, who's my friend and mentor, who helped me to actually, and that's how I actually met Simon Colson, would you believe? It was through Andy. And I also got to meet individuals like this man, Stephen Bartlett, Dragon's Den, because the more you put yourself out there, the more opportunities you get. So if you are an affiliate marketer, an online business, Zahid, I know what you do. What you do is phenomenal. And like you have taken the next big step of getting it out there. But the only way that you can do that is if you are visible. And when you get visible, it's not just about the end user. It's also about where can you be in order to get in front of more of your ideal client. Okay. I also started group accountability calls, which helped my clients and my students get more results. So I'm going to share with you the success formula that I've shared with them. Okay. So first of all, there are 6 key things. Doesn't matter what business you're in, 6 key things when it comes to mastering LinkedIn. So the first is you've got to understand who your ideal client is. You've got to understand your avatar. But here's where most people get this wrong. They understand who they want to go for, or they basically want to go for several people and they use the word anyone. So often I say, right, who's your audience? Oh, anyone who. But the truth is if you try and aim for anyone, you'll get no one. So you've got to really niche down on who your avatar is and understand. And it doesn't matter whether your avatar changes from one quarter to another, but it does matter in terms of how they think. You've got to understand how they think, not just who they are. Because when you understand their psychology, what makes them buy, what are the emotional reasons people buy, because actually that's what we all buy on. All decisions that we make, this is a Tony Robbins quote, all decisions are state dependent. So all decisions that we make are based on state, okay? Which means that when we see that really nice dress, it's because we imagine what it's going to feel like and what we're going to look like and how we're going to feel when we wear it. When we want to buy a piece of chocolate, it's because of we've already had the taste of the chocolate before we've even put it in our mouth, because of how it makes us feel. So everything that we buy, when we buy a piece of training, it's because we're thinking, well, look, when this works for me, I'll be able to have more money coming in, or I'll be able to have more visibility, whatever it might be. Okay. So all decisions are state dependent. So you've got to understand, what is it? What are the emotional challenges, problems, desires, wants, everything that your client wants? And then once you know your avatar and you understand their language, then you can start to build the persuasive profile, which I think Anwar was asking about, a confusing profile. A confusing profile becomes confusing when you yourself don't know what you do and why you do it. So you've got to understand your own personal brand. What is it that you're doing and who is your audience? If you don't understand your audience, your profile will become confusing. So the persuasive profiler can then be written in a way that really resonates with your ideal market. And so what happens is they will start going, actually, I want to connect with you. And they will send you a connection message. Now, once you've done that and you've actually built your profile, because that is the foundation of your LinkedIn marketing, next you've got to look at the consistent content cycle, which is all around how to attract more people to your profile so that they want to connect with you. And that is where content comes in, because content is king. It doesn't matter how many times you don't want to do it, you don't feel like doing it. And, you know, luckily I've got a done for you service as well, which I help my clients with. So for people who are like, oh my God, I haven't got time to do it, we'll do it for you. But for most people, actually, the only reason that stops them from creating content is actually they think they're not good enough, or they think they don't have enough to talk about. Let me tell you, that is completely wrong. Okay. After you're creating more content, you've got more people coming to your profile. Now it's about building an affinity with them. You've got to build rapport. Remember what I said earlier on? It is all about building building relationships. So now is the time to have conversations, search for the right people, leverage the people who are actually commenting on your content, and actually taking that to the next level. Okay. Now, if you just do the top 3, honestly, you will already start to see results, but actually it's more than that. So we then take you on a journey on how you can then promote your affiliate links, promote your lead magnets, get people off of LinkedIn and into your own ecosystem, whether that be a coffee, whether that be into your own email list, whatever it might be, because you don't own the data on LinkedIn, just like you don't own the data on Facebook, you don't own the data on Instagram. So if your account gets shut down, which it wouldn't on LinkedIn, but if it did, because you just never know, then you've been able to take people off of LinkedIn. And that's what the lead magnet monetizer does. And then it's about taking action, because there are 2 things that people do not do, or 2 things that people do. They either don't take action at all and don't ask for the sale, or they ask for the sale too quickly. Give me a 8 in the chat box if you've connected with somebody on LinkedIn and then sent you a pitchy message straight away, like a message that sells to you. So he does straight off the mark. He's like, yes. Yeah, because it's annoying, isn't it? It is the most annoying thing when they do that. Penelope says yes. Yeah, exactly. All right. Next is very annoying. So he was like, but part of that, and I was on a podcast recently with the amazing Nick James. I was on a podcast, and honestly, what happened was that he was like, why does that happen? And I was like, it's because your profile's not right. If your profile isn't right and you're not doing the right stuff, you will get more of those pitchy call messages. I get pitchy messages anyway, but I get less of them. All right, there you go. Right, there you go. Okay, right, so we're going to look at the first part. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to give you some key tips on how to improve your profile. I do have a profile checklist that you guys, it's a 21-pointed checklist. Zara, I'm afraid you're probably one in a very few that happens to, just so you know, because I know people who have got like 100 Crave followers who are active all the time, and you know, they don't get shut down without a valid reason. So you must be just a very rare exception. So I'm sorry that happened to you. Okay, so your profile, like I said, is the backbone, isn't it, of your LinkedIn. So here are some key things that you need to think about, because here's why most of these things happen. So first of all, your LinkedIn profile looks like a CV. I have a LinkedIn profile but haven't touched it since, or have no idea how to use it. And my LinkedIn profile attracts the wrong people and no leads. Okay, so those are one of the 3 reasons why your profile might not be attracting more people. Okay, so here we go. So like I said, Zara, I'm sorry that's happened to you. And yes, there are people who have been shut, but usually they do give a reason. LinkedIn are very good like that, actually, because I don't work for LinkedIn, by the way. I'm just basing it on my own experience. So there you go. All right. So first of all, you've got to understand people. I can see, Zara, that you are completely against LinkedIn. So and obviously for your own experience. So first of all, the people. When it comes to your LinkedIn profile, remember what I said about understanding who the people are. So really, really consider who is it that you want to be in front of. So if you're in the chat box, why don't you just put down one customer, one type of customer, whether it's a job title, etc. Who is it that you would like to get in front of, as in not their name, but the type of person? So is it You know, is it individuals who, property investors? Thank you, Jabu. Middle management, sports club SEOs, that's a really good, CEOs, that's a really good one, Anita. Small business owners, yeah, absolutely. Female professionals, 35 to 45, yeah, their search criteria, Zahida, is really good if you are that targeted. Well done. Restaurant owners, fitness people, yeah, I've worked with fitness people before, Penelope. SMB owners, 75% of business owners in the UK are SMBs. COO of a US company, oh my gosh, you can definitely, Gisela, do a search on that. Finance or operational directors, David, I'm hoping you are already using it. For cycling enthusiasts with corporate investment, so corporate investors, people who want to leave the 9 to 5 and start an online business. Yeah, exactly. So and again, there's ways to do that. Jewelers, Valentine says. So understand who the people are, and then think about what is it that they want, what are their pains and problems and challenges. Think about all of those things. Okay, next, images. Now, if you will agree with me that LinkedIn has a bit of a boring interface, doesn't it? It's a bit white, it's a bit blue, it's a bit grey. So the best way to actually make your profile pop is the images. So here are some key places to think about that are marketing assets. When I say marketing assets, I mean they are assets. If you're not using them properly, you're not doing the right thing. So your background image, massive big asset, because that alone can help you get customers. Your profile picture, depending on how it is in terms of your profile picture, will, you know, like think about it. If you are going to a networking event and you meet somebody and they are either too far away that you can't even see them and they're trying to have a conversation with you, so therefore pictures that are too far away aren't very good, or they're speaking to you but they've got a bag over their head, as in you can't see them because they haven't got an image. That's not how we network. We network with people and we look into their eyes, into the soul of their eyes. We smile, think about all of those things. So your profile picture, 60% of that profile picture should be your face, okay? Then there are loads of other places to put images in as well. There's also a cover profile video you can do, which is a 30-second elevator pitch. And you can use hacks like the name pronunciation, okay? Next, talent. So this is where you can be explicit, not in a CV way, but about what you actually do. So in your skills section, you can actually have optimized words that will help people find you better because you'll come up on more searches. So in your skills section, rather than put in, oh, I'm a team player, that's, if you're looking for a job, that's a great thing to put. But instead, think like your customer thinks, think like your people think. What would they be putting into Google or into the LinkedIn search box if they were searching for you? Those are the things that you've got to have in your skills section. Your work experience, make it look, cover what it is you actually do rather than your skills. Does that make sense? And then in your talent section, you can also add lots of other rich media content, which takes us to the content part. So you've got the about section, amazing, amazing, but written all the time in the wrong way. Your about section should be written like a sales page, like a landing page that convinces people why you do what you do, that takes them on a journey and then gets them to want to either connect with you or start a conversation with you. And, you know, my clients get templates for this and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, there are 3 different templates that I've created for this. All right. Next. Headline. Now, in your headline, this is again a marketable asset, okay? A marketable asset when it comes to your headline, because most people write this headline in the wrong way. But when you write it in the right way, these are the 4 things that I would advise that you have in your headline. So you want to write these down. Who is it that you help? What's your job title? So your job titles, what is it that you do? Who is that you help? How do you help them? And the result that you can get for them. So those are the 4 things. So Leon, I don't have an example in these slides. I have showed examples previously, but if you go and have a look at my LinkedIn profile, you'll see a good example there. Okay. So do you have, so again, the 4 things are your own job title, who it is that you help. So somewhere in there, it doesn't have to be in this order, but somewhere in there, who it is that you help, how do you help them, and the result that you can get for them. And if you've got time, you can also add a call to action. Now, the key thing about this is it's got to be front weighted. So think about what is the most fun thing, or what is the thing that's going to make people stop and go, oh, this is an interesting profile, or what is the more optimized word you can put at the front. Okay, but this is a power of the headline. So this is a lady called Sonia. When I met her back in 2017, I think it was, she was an AI trader. So she was an artificial intelligence trader, and to connect with her or to invest with her, it cost 10,000 pounds to connect with her. So she sent me this after she'd done my workshop. She said, we're on the phone this morning. She goes, a guy contacted me, messaged me on LinkedIn last night after looking at my profile. We're on the phone this morning discussing our own trading strategies. And he told me he contacted me because of my strap line. You actually helped me with that on your LinkedIn course earlier this year. Anyway, he's only in North Harrow, so we've arranged to meet for a coffee, and he possibly will become an investor with me. So I was like, oh my God, that's amazing, right? As you can see, I've just put, oh, that's awesome. Anyway, he didn't become an investor with her. However, he sent her 4 people who did. So give me a hell yes in the chat box if you'd like to earn 40k or get 40k's worth of business from your, yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Love it, love it, love it. So that's how amazing that can be. Now, you can actually scan this code if you want. It is also on my LinkedIn profile. So I'll just keep this on there while I take a sip of my tea. You can give that a quick scan. And this is actually the LinkedIn profile checklist. So there's 21 things on there, and it's recently been updated. But 21 things to actually make your profile awesome. Okay. And then if you don't get a chance to scan it, don't worry. If you just go to my LinkedIn profile, right at the top is a link where you can actually put it in. Okay. All right. Perfect. Right, next we're going to look at, because I'm just wary of time, next we're going to look at the consistent content cycle. So this is one of the things, even as an affiliate marketer, an online business, people get worried about or they get confused about, okay? So I'm going to take you through the personal brand blueprint. So the first thing is the content itself, okay? So content characteristics, first of all. 90% of people on LinkedIn are idle, as in they do not create any content whatsoever, okay? They're visitors, they scroll, but they don't even comment. They are literally ad hoc. 9% are actually, they actually interact. So they comment, they like, but they're inconsistent with creating their own content. And here's the shocker. Only 1% actually initiate content. But here's the great thing about that 1%. And that is they get increased followers and they get seen as industry leaders. Now, here's an interesting thing for you guys. Do you know what the percentage is of people in the wealthiest bracket? Let me know what percentage of people sit in the wealthiest bracket. Let me know what your guesses are. So Jabba says 1. Yeah, everybody's got the answer. No, not on LinkedIn, just generally in the world. 1%, exactly. It's not 0.01, it's 1%. So yeah, well done everyone who's got that. It is 1%. So people are wanting to get into that 1% bracket of the wealthiest people. So just think about that. Look, people creating content are in that 1%, and you want to get into that 1% too, okay? And at the moment, depending on where you are, obviously, I don't know each of your businesses, but I'm sure it's a lot easier to get into that 1% than it is to get into the 1% of wealthiest yet. I say yet, okay? All right, so there are 4 content pillars, and I believe that it's like I talked about, content is king. So these are the things that I would actually recommend to you when it comes to the kind of content you should be creating. So first of all, share your knowledge, know-how, and wisdom. Many people hold back on their knowledge, know-how, and wisdom because they go, oh my God, it's like, like what if we don't get to, what if we give our secret sauce away? That's what they worry about. But the truth is that, most people can find anything if they Google it, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Google, whatever it might be. Most people can find some knowledge about an expertise area. However, what they don't have is they don't have you for hand holding or explaining them through it, or having a real personal connection. So share your knowledge, know-how and wisdom, because then you'll be seen as the individual who is knowledgeable, who's got their finger on the pulse, who is the expert and the authority. Look, there are thousands and thousands of LinkedIn trainers. Some of you may like me, some of you may not. And some of you may even think that you're the expert on LinkedIn. And so therefore you think that you won't ever need any help. And that's okay, by the way, with me, because I'm only there to attract the people who are like me and who like me. But in order for me to attract those people, I have to repel the people that aren't right for me. And then there's, like I said, people in the middle who don't really give a shit either way, either because they already think they're experts or they don't want to help in any way. So your job is to disqualify as well as qualify. And you can do that via your knowledge, because the people who want your help will come to you. Here's a quote from my mentor: information for free, implementation for fee. Okay, information for free, implementation for fee. So when they want to help implementing it, because they want to get somewhere quicker, they don't want to go through all of that. They don't want to go through all of the like trying to learn it themselves and then getting it wrong and not getting anywhere, because that's what most people do, don't they? Then that it doesn't matter. You repel them and it's okay. All right. Next, you can get intimate on LinkedIn, as in you can be yourself. I think it was Pauline, you said that, didn't you? You said, thank you, by the way, Pauline, you said about how you find it boring or you've got to be stiff and you can't really be you. But you can, and that's a great thing, because growing your personal brand is important. And that's what will happen when you grow your personal brand and you put your personal posts out there. You still want to be like balance, like 20 to 30% personal posts, but ultimately you want to, and some of those posts might be intertwined with a message, but the point is you want people to see what you're like, because that way, and what you're really like in real life, because that way the people you attract will be your customers forever, and the people you repel, they weren't going to be your customers anyway. So it helps with the qualification process. Third, and that is news. You've got to have stuff that's newsworthy. So right now, think about what is going on in the world. Now, a lot of people go, oh, I don't watch the news because it's depressing and it's this and it's that. I actually don't. I do watch the news, because I want to then use the news to actually make a point on my content. I want my content to be connected to what is going on in the world today. So I don't ignore the news, but I'm very mindful of what I take in. I don't believe everything that's on the news, but I will take something. So obviously we know what's going on today. Kwasi yesterday was sacked as a chancellor, and then you'll see, how can you use that within your expertise and put a post about that, because it's newsjacking, it's newsworthy. And then that way you can get people having a discussion with you, because that's how networking is done. And then the fourth is, what can you do, which is the king, the G of the king, what can you do to grow your business? So this is where promotional posts can happen, links for affiliate marketers, telling people exactly what you do. Zahida, you can, I know one of your products is the Smile, the whitening product. Like, you could actually do a demo with somebody and have that filmed and show people, you can do it before and after. So all of these things can help you grow your business, because that will ultimately get more and more leads through. So those are the content pillars. So I just want to give you some examples. I think one of you was looking for property investors. So keeping landlord and property informed. This is Lee Medway. This is what she wrote. A couple of weeks ago, I was part of an awesome training session with Deenita. I'll jump down to the bottom. Now, LinkedIn is a bit of a slow burn. Everyone is selling and it can be quite overwhelming. So I've taken a slightly different approach, and without even trying, we've managed to generate 3 really strong leads and 5 pre-qualified pipeline opportunities in 4 days. Not every piece of content needs to directly sell. Not every message has to end in an appointment. It's about getting to know your audience, which you've already talked about. And just as importantly, give them the opportunity to get to know you. Okay, so yeah, Zahida, a really good video would work really well. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff, like, it doesn't have to sell, it can just be a demo, it can be, but stick to those 4 pillars. And then when it comes to the 4 content pillars, you've then got to combine that with 3 personal brand niche pillars, as in what are your niche topics, and then you combine those together. Okay, so that is content. Next is, you got to have conversations, right? So these are, because basically sorry, this should say combine, but you've got to converse by combining various different things around your, like, it's not just putting a profile out there and sticking with it, it's also going out and reaching out to people. And we'll talk about time a bit later on. But here are just a couple of people who have done various different things. And that's what I want to try and put forward to you. That doesn't just come from one place. Opportunities can be different if you're having the right conversations. So look at this. Can I just say that although my SSI has dipped, so her social selling index dipped, right? My business is not. Now, I just want to look at all the different types of combinations through conversations that she's got. I've now been engaged to help 2 small businesses with their apprenticeship programs. She's a leadership coach, by the way. I've been asked to support some university work through my advertising on LinkedIn. As a result of my marketing, I've been asked to support the creation of a new apprenticeship framework. And I've also shared my story with the media, and that may get me some further opportunities. And then she sent me an update later on saying, I've just got a 14K contract via LinkedIn for 12 days work. So you've got to think about what laterally you can get. What opportunities are there laterally, not just, but this happens through conversations, okay? Just how business is supposed to happen, conversations, okay? But look, this is a level of business that you can get. And she's, in fact, Jo Corbish, she now owns, I mean, she's got a farm, I don't know where she lives, up north somewhere. And just through the money that she earned, the additional revenue she earned from LinkedIn, they were able to actually build a barn in at the back of their house. So that's what it can, just think about what it can do for your lives. Okay, next is, there's lots of choice, isn't there? But let me tell you some of the key things that have come out from just LinkedIn in the last few months, okay? And if you're not using these, then you should be. So polls, no longer pushed as much, but they still work really well. And polls can be good only if you leverage the votes that come in. So there's way to leverage that. LinkedIn Lives has been around for a while. Carousel posts, the new carousel posts are coming out, and they're being rolled out to everybody very, very soon. They're in beta stage. You can still do carousel posts, but now they're going to have both video and image available on the same post. Videos, Zahida, we talked about videos. Videos are 20 times more likely to get shared than any other content on LinkedIn. Their newsletter feature, you can get subscribers subscribing to your newsletter on LinkedIn, and guess what? Every time you publish a newsletter, they will be notified in their actual email inbox. Long copy text posts work really well with images. LinkedIn events, so you can actually hold webinars and lunch and learns and all sorts of things. You can hold a whole affiliate marketing conference using LinkedIn events. Templates, they've got new templates. If you're strapped for time and you want to put content out there really quickly, you can use their templates. Links, you can actually now add links not only on your profile but on your video, on your images and photos as well. Sorry, your images and your videos as well. A featured section which really helps your LinkedIn pop. You've got creator mode. If you click on creator mode, you will have access to more and more of their creator tools. And LinkedIn audio. If you've ever been on Clubhouse, LinkedIn audio is the next best thing. So LinkedIn audio is definitely a way. You could actually, a whole lot of you affiliate marketers on Saturday School can get together and do a whole room on just affiliate marketing, depending on what you're looking to sell. Okay, so that's choice. Then we've got consistency, because is it true? Give me a yes if you agree that only consistency is the key thing for success. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, do you do a DJ show, Dave? How awesome. On Clubhouse? Yes, all the time. Anma says, Penelope says yes, David says young, Hazel says yes, David says young, David says yes. Yeah, perfect. So let me just talk about what consistency can do for you, okay? Now, since I've screenshotted this, she's actually gone up to over 200k views. But she was like, I've just had my first 100k view. This is an education consultant. Just had my first 100k view on one single post. The time span was 5 days. I'm sharing because I want to encourage you all to keep creating and posting. If I can do it, you can do it. Now, what Susan did was she decided that from November 2021 to January 2022, so it was about 8 weeks, she would just post 5 days a week. And she would just put posts out there and definitely get out there. And here's the interesting thing. The thing that got over 200 views, not 100, but 200 now, was actually something about Chinese, because she's Chinese New Year. That is actually what got her the views. So she's still putting out educational knowledge. She's still putting out all of the other type of content, but it was that got her. So see what I mean about personal posts, how they work really well and they get traction. And since, since she's worked with me anyway, she's made money. You can see her testimonials, but it's all about just being consistent. And the great thing is with LinkedIn, which I'm going to be talking about in a second. I think I'm going to be talking about that in a second. Let's have a double check. The great thing is you don't even have to spend 24 hours, 7 days a week on it. And you don't have to post like 5, 6, 7 times, because time is what it's all about. Okay. So first of all, in terms of its algorithms, their algorithms have changed recently. And one of the key parts of their algorithm is how much time does your audience spend on your content. It's called dwell time. So on the content that you are creating for your personal brand, it is based on how sticky that content is, as in how interesting is it? Because based on how interesting it is, will determine how long somebody spends and then decides to share, etc. And then when it comes to time, 1 post a day, that's all you need. And you don't even have to start with all 5 days in the week or 7 days a week. You can start with 3 times a week and you will start to get traction. So don't think that, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. There are obviously other things that you need to be doing alongside content. But the truth is you don't need to spend more than 30 to 60 minutes a day on LinkedIn. You can actually schedule it out. And if it's a priority and you want to attract those high qualified leads, then I don't care what anybody says, I'm putting it in my diary, because my diary will tell me that it needs to be done. Okay. So yes, organic takes time, and paid, you pay with money. So paid marketing, you're going to spend money. Organic marketing, you're going to spend time, but it'll be worth it if you are doing the right things. Okay. So we've still got one more section to do, and I am on time, so that's really good. So we've got still one more section to do. But before I do that, I know that in the past, when I've spoken to some of you, and Anwar and David and some of the guys will confirm this, I often talk to you about joining me on my 3-day training program. However, I am well aware that for some of you, you are in full-time jobs, you're doing this as a side, and so therefore spending 3 days with me is just not feasible. So I spoke to Simon Colson and Max and the guys in the office, and I said, what can I do that would still help you to get access to my training, but that wouldn't take up your time and you could do it in your own time frame? So I have a training portal which normally only gets given to the people who do my 3-day training and my masterminds, but I'm going to give access, 12 months access to my online training. Okay, so 12 months access to my Leads from LinkedIn online training. So what this actually has is it has over 30 plus videos of all of the 6 areas that we talked about. The 6 key areas, these ones, it has videos on everything, step by step. and it will help you to basically work through all 6 of these essential strategies from finish to end, which means that you can then walk away with a LinkedIn marketing strategy. Not only does it have the videos with me talking you through it, but there's a section on webinars. So all of the updated stuff that has happened in the last 3 months is also on there. So there's videos and updated videos and things like that, updated videos on your profile and your content. So it is constantly being updated as well. So over the next 12 months, while you are part of it, you will also consistently get updated stuff, because LinkedIn are always coming up with new things. So I wanted to give you something that you can work through in your own time, space, and pace. And then that way you have all the resources with you. So it has the videos, it has the webinars, it's got downloadable templates, it's got the About Us templates, it's got downloadable resources, there's a whole load of stuff that comes with the online training platform. So what will this take you through? So first of all, you will go with the first module, which is all about creating your avatar. And this, you'll go through a questionnaire. There's an avatar questionnaire, which will help you extract more about your client's psychology and really help you hone in on what it is that your clients need from you. And so that way you can then create a profile, and it'll take you through a 5-step profile creator program. It'll take you through all 5 steps. You can then pause the video, go and do the actual activity, come back, etc., etc. And you'll be able to create, using the checklist as well, create your ideal profile. Then we're talking about content. So in the content piece, it's all about the recent elements of content. And there's actually updated webinars on the content as well. So you can see all the different types of content that are available. And some of it I've actually separated. So in the webinars, there's something just around LinkedIn Lives, etc. So now that LinkedIn Audio is out, I'll be doing one on LinkedIn Audio, and all of that will get uploaded. But it will be all about how content can be created. And you can even do exercises on there about how you can create 30 pieces of content on a monthly basis. Next, we look at, you've got the 3rd module, which is all about how to message, how to use the search function, how to build affinity and rapport, so that you can start to understand what it is and how to have conversations without coming across as a spammer, okay? Next is advertising. So on the advertise, not only do we help you create ad marketing collateral like lead magnets, etc., but you will also get access to the ad platform, a training completely all around LinkedIn ads if you are ever interested in doing LinkedIn ads. Then the 5th module is all about taking action. So here we've got a whole sales process, and also soon to come, there's also going to be a video on your product staircase. So you can understand how your staircase is built, so you can fill in the gaps and have an irresistible offer that you can give your client. So that's all about taking action. And then finally, we look at all the key features. So there's a whole module on the features within LinkedIn. So company page, hashtags, LinkedIn events, LinkedIn audio, metrics, all of those things that you can then look up. So that is all covered. So there's over, like I said, over 30 videos of training in this, okay? So who is this for? Is it right for you is the question. So hopefully I've covered the bit about if you're an affiliate marketer, etc., then, you know, an online business, then LinkedIn is still the platform for you. It's right for you if you are an action taker, because obviously this is, you know, DIY training, as in you're going to be doing it yourself. So if you're able to schedule time out of the day, you've got 12 months to complete all the modules, and then it is perfect for you. It's perfect for you if you're in a full-time job and can't take time off for training. It's perfect for you if you are just getting started on LinkedIn. And it's also perfect for you if you've been using LinkedIn but the wrong way and you just want to step-by-step learn the right way of doing it. Okay, so here are some of the results that people I know and my clients have got. So Sue Patel, she now does actually, she does a lot around crypto. So she's a crypto specialist. She invests in crypto herself. She's a crypto investor. She's earned over 100K using the strategies, the 6 strategies that I've spoken about. Here are some other individuals. Some of them have got bricks and mortar businesses. Some of them actually, like Dimitri down there, where it says 2,000 plus leads. He's a violin maker, would you believe? A violin maker. And so you've heard from the other guys. So let me just take you through what you're going to get. So 12 months access, the LinkedIn Lab portal. Normally this is sold for £2,000. So you're going to get access to that. You're also going to get access to the avatar questionnaire, which is a 3-page questionnaire for you to really hone in on your client's psychology, not just who they are. 30 plus training videos that all cover the leads from LinkedIn Launchpad. You're going to get the About Us templates that you can download and use. So you can literally just copy and put your words into where I put my words. You're going to get a social media content calendar, one that you can actually just either have, it's an editable PDF. So you can either have it on your laptop or, online, or you can actually print it out if you want. It's daily, weekly and monthly, and it covers 5 channels. Okay, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Clubhouse. Monthly updated webinars, so every month there will be a new webinar up there for you to also look through. And then you also get downloadable resources and templates. So there's a script for your profile video. There are mind mapping resources. There are guides, LinkedIn guides as well. So there's loads of different resources and lead magnets that you'll also get. Okay. And again, that's updated. So you just get access to the folder. Those are all the things that you get. Like I said, the usual investment would be 1,998, like I said earlier on. But today's pay in full investment will be 998. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the final part of this content, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about affinity and the brand builder blueprint. I'm also just very quickly, for those of you who are interested, I'm also just going to put a link for the pay in full in here, and then you'll get all the information. So I'll put that in the chat box for any of you who are interested. So let me do that very quickly, and then I will continue with the training. Okay, there we go. So that's the painful link for those of you who are interested. All right, okay, so the brand builder blueprint, because when it comes to LinkedIn, like I said, it is a networking social site, not just one where you can put ads out and get loads of, I mean, you can put ads out, by the way, on LinkedIn, they're just more expensive, but why would you want to put ads out when you can get leads and business for free, right? So let's go through what we're looking at here. So this is what most people do on LinkedIn. A lot of you said, oh my God, I get this already. So on the first date, you'll make a great father. This is what they do, don't they? They're like, well, or they like want to jump into bed with you immediately. And, I'll give you some examples, but it's just like, oh my God, like you haven't even asked me. You haven't even asked me on a first date. You haven't even asked me on the second date. So those are the kind of things that come up. So here's what I want you to look at. So here are a few examples. So she sent me the below message first. Hey, Deenita, I just read through your about section. Very interesting background and impressing what you have managed to achieve. Would love to connect and learn more about what you do. So I did actually connect with her because I thought that's actually quite a nice message. Then she sent me the second message straight after, which is a top one. I noticed that you are very passionate about what you do. Have you ever thought to package your knowledge into an online course, promote it and sell it worldwide? Well, had she looked at my profile, she would have seen that I already had an online course. It's called the Online Course Creator. I already had that. And it was packaged and I was selling it. So she would have already known that I do already package my knowledge up, but she didn't even ask to find out. Okay. I forgot to hide his name, but there you go. Michal. Deenita, I hope you're staying positive and testing negative. I thought that was quite a good start, given that this was in the pandemic. And then straight away, he goes into a pitch. I'm from this company. We help companies similar to via me to appointment book and maintain a flow of leads. Can we speak? No, because you haven't asked me any questions yet. You haven't even asked me whether this is something I'd be interested in. And then we had this individual, hello, mate, thanks for connecting. How are you? So his initial connection message was actually not a, there was no writing, there was no content. So I just connected with him. And I said, oh, good, thanks. First of all, it was like, hello, mate. And then he's like, I'm glad to hear that. I have an opportunity that I'm sure you don't want to miss on. How does he know? This opportunity would earn you more money and also give you more time for your primary source of income, less than 30 minutes daily. Mind if I tell you about it? No, I do mind, because you haven't asked me anything. So there you go, that's another one. So when you send messages like that, you get labeled a social spammer instead of a social seller. Okay, so one of the things, like, you know, this is, I'll share with you about this lady. She's actually, her name's Nikki Perfect. What a great name. But I'm telling you what she does, right, is freaking awesome. She basically says she is a hostage she used to be a hostage negotiator for the Met Police. Okay. I'm going to take that question, Trevor, after I've done this bit. So hopefully I'll be able to answer that. And then, so this lady, like before, these are the types of messages that she would get. So what we did with Nikki was we worked on her profile. We worked on her own messaging, and also her own way to build content, and actually what to do with the people who responded to her content. And since then, this is a kind of experience that she's had. So number one, police now contacted me, and I have already completed one course for them, and they've asked me to be their motivational speaker for the day and spend the day with them, paid work. Number two, an old colleague who is now CEO of a section of the NHS has been in contact, and we are discussing a day's training after he read my posts on LinkedIn. When I sent an email to my now agent, she researched me before agreeing to help me. So this is how they are looking out for you. When you approach somebody, even off of LinkedIn, they're going to go to your LinkedIn to check you out. She's actually got a HarperCollins publishing deal. Number four, I have sold 9 out of 10 spaces on a course, mainly through LinkedIn posts and Facebook. A lady I was in a mastermind with reached out the other day and asked me to be a guest speaker, not paid, but will give me exposure. I post 3 to 4 times a week. I don't have a structure of adding people to my list or getting more followers. And at some stage, we'll have to set time aside to do this. But when I sit and reflect, I know the power of LinkedIn. So these are all key things to think about. Okay. So one of the things that I want you to go away and think about is next time you put content out there, what are you doing with the people who are responding? That's a tip to take away. Okay. And just again, the people who are responding, D, your stuff works. So listen, look at what she did. I read a post. It was a second connection. So she wasn't connected with them, but she read their post. She commented on their post first. I've never commented on one of his posts before. Someone else then commented on her comment on that post. And then he made a new connection request with me because he resonates with what I wrote. Never seen this play out like this. This feels good. That individual that then commented on her post and connected with her, actually, she ended up doing a proposal for him. So she is a GP turned health and well-being consultant. Okay. So look, remember, business is about being seen in the right place at the right time in front of the right people. Okay. So Trevor, you asked, are these types of port approaches using bot messages? Not all the time. Sometimes it may be a VA, and sometimes it's the individual themselves. And it's just because they don't know any better. So a lot of people say to me, oh, why don't you just ignore them and delete them? I mean, I don't accept their connection request, but a lot of the time, the only reason they're doing it is because they don't know the right way to do it. And so that's why they go out and do this. But hopefully, people like me will be able to change that. So yeah, exactly, Zara. I love these. I used to get all the, hi ma'am, will you marry me? I love them. I don't get any of those, luckily. I don't, I don't attract seedy individuals, but I do get a lot of pitches because people obviously think I've got a lot of money, right? So just to end before I take questions, right? 12 months, remember 12 months access to the Leads from LinkedIn online training. You're going to learn all of these things. I've already taken you through this. I'm not going to go through this again, but you're going to have all 6 modules available to you. Give me a yes in the chat box if you'd like me to make this deal even better. So at the moment it's $998 as a full investment. Put a yes in the chat box if you'd like a better offer. People are way too afraid to put a yes in there now, aren't they? So Dimitri says yes. Leon's like, hell yeah. It's all right if you say yes in there. I'm not going to hold you to it. Craig, thank you. Yes. Okay, so out of 60 of you, there are 3 people who want me to make this better. Oh my gosh, does that mean that I should just keep it at 998 because you already think that's a great deal? So interesting. All right, so I can make it better. You can also have an installment plan, 399 times 3. These are just some of the results people have actually gotten by working with me. So since I first, since I first heard about the SSI, my score went from 67 to 75. My stats have gone through the roof. One call already happened this week with a fellow property professional I connected with. I did my first podcast today, which stemmed from a conversation with one of my LinkedIn accounts. Can't fault it. I'm totally hooked on LinkedIn being my professional social media channel of choice. Chris of GAT works within the EDI space since completing my superb world-class training. Today, I want to say 2 of the 3 leads I have followed up have turned into organizations. One has, in fact, already made 3 referrals. Okay. Yeah, loads of different. I'm not even going to go through all of these, but I am going to give you one more thing. And that is if you sign up in the next 24 hours, then I will also put in 4 fortnightly group accountability coaching calls, which are worth £2,000. So I will add that in to the offer. So, and that's for pay in full only. It's a pay in full bonus. If you do it within the next 24 hours, if you've paid in full, then I will also include group accountability calls with myself. So here are the 2 links. One is for the pay in full and one is for the installment in itself. So questions. What questions do you have? Now you can ask away. So Zahida says, is it best to post consistently on both personal profile page and a business page rather than just a business page? So 80-20, Zahida. You definitely want to be posting more from the personal profile page. When I was at Simon's event, I've shared some statistics around your personal brand and what it does for you, and then what it does for your company page. So 70% of people will buy into your personal brand first, which will then elevate your business brand. So best to consistently do it on both, but 80-20. So if you were doing, let's say 5 days a week, 4 from your personal profile page and 1 from the business page. So I hope that helps. Anita, I want to develop a podcast on mental health. Well done. Copy and paste that. By the way, awesome. And sport, as well as delivering mental health first aid training to businesses, charities and sports clubs. Wow. Is LinkedIn the place for sharing emotional? Yes. Oh my gosh. If you go through, Anita, if you go through the news feed, oh my God, I wish I had screenshots of this. If you go through the newsfeed, when it's Mental Awareness Week, when it's there is so much stuff now on LinkedIn about mental awareness. So, oh, that's probably because, sorry, Craig, that's probably because I didn't do it on the right way. So there you go. Yes, absolutely, Anita. Without a doubt, you are missing out, especially around the mental health area, because it is fabulous. And the great thing is that LinkedIn will also pick up because they also promote stuff around mental health as well. So yeah, definitely get on there because it is the right thing. Look, for those of you, if you are wanting to actually work with me and do my 3-day training course and things like that, then of course you can get in touch with me if doing it yourself isn't ideal for you. But for you, if you are doing, if you can't take 3 days out and actually do the training with me, then of course this is an option. But for those of you who want to actually do it with me, so I've had quite a few Saturday school individuals who have done the training with me. That is an option that you can discuss with me. How many business pages can you have? You can actually have more than one business page, but what I would do Leon, is I would have one main umbrella business page, and then you can create something called affiliate pages, and they can be affiliates of your main. So you can actually do it like that. But if you've got more than one business, you can create more than one business page. It's just keeping up with how much content you're going to be creating from both is the thing. Okay. We have just had a World Mental on 10th of October. Yeah, and I'm telling you, Anita, LinkedIn was full of it. Dion says, would you suggest LinkedIn over Twitter and Quora for affiliate marketing? So I don't know much about Quora, to be honest, Dion. And with Twitter, my LinkedIn is connected to my Twitter. So every time I post on LinkedIn, it goes out on Twitter as well. So that's an advantage of LinkedIn. And that way you're repurposing content as well, Dion. Okay. Have those people got back to you whose examples you have given, Deenita? So those with bad examples, checking. Sorry, I don't understand that, Billy. Have those people got back to you whose examples you have given? Those about checking about DPA. What's DPA? I don't know what DPA is. So you can have personal LinkedIn and additional business. Yeah, so Pauline, the way it works is slightly different from Facebook. Facebook, your business page is where they recommend you should do most of your business posts, because like I said, Facebook can actually shut you down if too much of your personal page is full of business. Whereas on LinkedIn, your personal profile, that's where you do most of your, that's about you, your personal brand, that's you as the individual. And then you can have an additional business LinkedIn page. Yes. So Billy, I'm happy for you to just ask that question again, checking about DPA. What is DPA? Data protection, yes, that's fine. So by the way, like today, I obviously didn't hide their names, but normally I would hide their names. So where to set up the business page from personal page. Yeah, you've got, basically there's a part on the top of your LinkedIn. You'll see, let me just see if I can show you actually. Just stop sharing. It's only because I don't have my LinkedIn on. So let me just show you very quickly. If you go to your LinkedIn profile, or not, you don't even have to go to your personal page. You can actually just go into your LinkedIn. So I'm just going to show you now. I think it's here. So if you go here, if you go into work at the top there, and then you go down to the bottom, you can do create a company page. Okay, so that's how you find that. And then you can also do it, and that's where they will come up, your page as well. Okay. And all of that training is actually in the how to set up a company page, but also the most recent stuff on company pages is in the online training that I've talked about today, because LinkedIn over the last 6 months have made company pages really, really good. Does LinkedIn talk about using social media with it, like Instagram and Meetup? Well, LinkedIn doesn't talk about it, but that's Dave, but it's all about how you repurpose content. So my LinkedIn is connected to my Twitter. My Twitter is connected to my Facebook business page. My Facebook business page is connected to my Instagram. So I only have to post once. When I'm on TikTok, so I'm doing a lot with TikTok at the moment because I'm working with TikTok. So I'm doing a lot with TikTok, and with TikTok, what I do is I will do a video on TikTok. I'll take the TikTok logo off and I'll put that video on LinkedIn. So it's all about repurposing. No worries, Pauline. Now you do. Now you do. Well, that's it. I think I'm done. Yeah, 2 minutes early. 2 minutes early. 12:30 was my finish time. The lovely Roger gave me a little bit of extra time. But yeah, if there's no more questions, then we're all done.